What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we got to do some uppotting and we just gonna chat while we doing it. All right, so I was kind of stuck in between how I wanted to uppot these tomato plants because I honestly feel like I will be able to put these outside in the next 2 weeks or so. So at first I picked up like this size pot just from the Dollar Tree. I grabbed these because they had some of the smaller sizes. Let me see if I have one over here to show. Yeah. So they had these guys, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to go here or here. But because I don't have enough of these, and I honestly feel like this is just way too big, it's going to utilize way too much soil, which I don't honestly have just a whole lot left of. I am actually just going to use these styrofoam cups to uppot all of my tomatoes in. That way I won't feel any type of way about the resources that I'm using. This is like $1.25. I won't have to use as much soil. And like I said, in about 2 to 3 weeks time, these guys should be actually planted outside. But I do need to get them out of these 4 cell trays here, just because they need a little bit more space to, like, you know, harden themselves off. I am going to be putting these directly outside once I uppot them into the little mini pop-up greenhouse that I have, mostly because I don't have enough space on my little seed starting rack over here. So that's what we are going to be doing today. And yeah, like I said, I'm kind of in a chatty mood, but you know, bear with me because I don't even know that I'm like chatting about garden related shit. So let me go on ahead and get everything set up, so like there will be some ease to this process, and then we're gonna get into it. Bet. All right, so we will kind of go through this exactly how we did the pepper uppotting situation. I will show you how each one of the varieties performed as far as germination. And I did already take the liberty and go through and thin everything out just to make things a little bit easier on myself. But yeah, we're gonna go through variety by variety and I will show you how everything handled. So I was actually very, very concerned for my Brad's Atomic because last year it was like such like it was an odd experience. Like the seedlings looked extremely spindly and just but I feel like because I got like the seeds from the best looking tomato, you know, things just look a lot better. So that is the first variety that we will be uppotting, and I only have 2 of those. My idea for this, I actually didn't want to have multiples of each type, but I will keep the other one. Unlike the pepper situation, I will keep them, and what I plan to do with the extra is to just gift it to a friend or family member. First call, or you know, or even end up sharing with our community plant swap. So I don't know that this is how I want this to go. All right, so let's move on to the next variety. This is the blueberries cherry. These guys always do extremely well for me. You can see they are extremely sturdy and beautiful. I did fertilize these seedlings once all of them were developing true leaves, so they are nice and healthy, which makes me a very happy ash. But we're gonna situate how we gonna actually pot these up because I want these to be a little deeper. So I'm just going to use the same potting mix, and I could use my little tool over here, but I'm not. I just don't want to use so many resources. So bury them quite deep in there, which is why I just also decided to go with these, because they're not very big, but they are deep enough. So yeah, that is how I will be potting. That is how I will be potting these babies up, and I will do a really, really deep watering at the end. All right, so the next variety that we have here are the super sweet 100s. You guys already know these guys are so vigorous and just amazing. However, I don't need 4 of them. I think that I will keep 2 of these for myself because I decided, that I want to put 2 of these on my Titan trellis just to like go in that archway right there. But the other 2 I will have to give away. All right, the next variety that I have here is the Oxheart. These guys, at least 2 of the 4 look pretty good. So I am going to take the strongest 2 and I will continue to grow on the other 2 to give away. All right, so we creating a mess real fast. So I'm just going to go through all of the varieties, tell you how everything went. Then we will up pot, and then we're going to get into these flowers over here because, like I said, you already see the mess. It's a bit too much. All right, so this here is the Purple Russian, which is one of the Roma varieties that I am growing. All of these, for the most part, did pretty well. The only one that looks a little bit questionable, and maybe it's because the seedling head is still on it, but so 3 out of the 4 look pretty good. What do you think? Yeah. All right, and next up here are the Mushroom Basket and Orange Accordion. Both of these varieties were just a little bit behind on germination, but you can see here they look fairly healthy, very happy. I think that they will do perfect once we up pot them, fertilize them in really well. All right, and then these next 2 here are the Orange Jazz, which is a new variety to me, which is a slicer. These 2 here, and then these are a Tomatillo type, the Queen of Malanaco. So these guys always start off really, really slow. So I'm just going to keep them in these pots just to give them a little bit of grace. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to keep the Orange Jazz in here as well because they are much too small to go outside and be in the elements. So I'm just going to give them a little bit more time, baby them a little bit. Next here we have the Black Beauty. My Black Beauty does really well every single year. So I have 3 out of the 4 germinate really, really well. This 3rd one here I will probably keep in this pot, but these 2 here we will definitely up pot them. You can see they are pretty tall and need a lot more space to grow. And we have the Purple Cherokee, another one which 3 out of the 4 came up. Well, no, hold on. It looks like we have a little something going on here, but little defective seedling here. Hopefully you guys can see it doesn't have any leaves on it, but I mean, again, 1 is really all I need, but 2 is plenty. So the 3rd one I will probably give away. 2 of them I need to give away, actually, because where the heck am I putting all these tomatoes? I don't even know. All right, next here we have the Red Brandywine. Now this one looks to be like a potato leaf variety. They look a little droopy right now because these are all dry because I knew that I would be up potting today, but 4 out of the 4 germinated, so very good germination. I'm really excited to try this one out. I've never tried a Brandywine before. Next here we have 2 more Roma varieties. This is just your standard Roma on this side here, and then on this side the Pianalo, I forget how to say it. Anyways, the Pianalo looks really, really good. It's putting on a lot of foliage, which is really nice, but all in all, very good germination. Right here we have a Sun Gold, which 4 out of the 4 germinated. very sturdy, happy plants. So I'm really excited to be growing these this year. This one, the Patio Choice Yellow. Now, first of all, this was a new variety. It is a dwarf variety. So I'm trying to give it a little bit of grace, hoping that it will eventually do what it needs to do. But you can see these guys are just, you know, itty bitty little things, and only 3 out of the 4 germinated. And these were actually pelleted seeds. So I wonder if that has something to do with it. But we're going to keep them in these little trays here, give it a little bit more time, keep them indoors safe and sound, and we're going to see how it goes. All right, now I'm going to go on ahead and try to bite off a huge chunk of this up potting. That way then we can chat. Okay? Y'all, I'm about to stop playing with my life. I need to make space. Right now, I have 2 of these flats full of tomatoes, and I'm still calling myself holding on to these 8 over here. I'ma just pinch them off because, you know, sometimes you just gotta make space. So I'm not holding on to these in hopes of, like, you know, giving them away. I just need to work with the space that I have. So you see it. I'm doing it. I'm just tossing them, and I'm just putting the extra soil back into this soil bag here because ain't nothing wrong with it. But I need to stop playing with myself and make space in the area that I have and allow myself to let things go that really are not going to serve any purpose. So for the most part, I kept 2 of each variety, and I did go on ahead and pot up the Queen of Malinaco and the Patio Yellow, and I think it was the Orange Jazz that was also like pretty small. I just wanted to get everything like in these cups here. So now we just need to water them in, which I'm sure I will end up having to put more soil in each one of these. So we all know at this point in the season, like, we are all itching to get outside. I know I am. Every decent day that we have had, I have been outside planting everything that is like frost hardy enough. And like I said, I really want to get some more things out of the house because I'm starting to neglect the things inside because I'm wanting to be outside. If you know, you know, like, that's just pretty much the way that it ends up going at this point in the season. But I do feel hopeful because the season, or I do feel hopeful because the weather is starting to look up and your girl is going to be outside real soon. So hopefully this will be the last video that we are going to spend down here in my basement because I am over it. I don't know if you guys remember, but last year I got a really bad, I put the additional starts down here on the floor just to make space, but I got a really bad like spider bite, and I felt like that was like my sign to get out the basement, go outside, catch a breather. And as I'm talking about spiders, look. But yeah, so I'm really ready. I'm so like ready to go outside and be in the garden because the weather is just getting better and better at this point. So I'm gonna allow for these guys to stay in here just one more night, just because we just transplanted them, and I might end up having to top these with more soil. But in addition to these tomato seedlings. I'm gonna put this guy down here too. We also have all of these flowers that we winter sowed, and I brought them inside to pot up because my daughter is up. I brought them inside to pot up because it's windy outside and I don't feel like fighting with the audio, but I ended up picking up these 2-inch pots from Amazon. Honestly, I was hoping that maybe I could use these to pot up my tomatoes, but they are entirely too small, but I still have purpose for them. I think I only paid like $20 for 100 of these, and they are quite flimsy, but that's okay. Eventually I'll get to the point where I'm ready to invest in nicer pots, but right now I'm not there. But I have this tray here, and also I just got a lot going on. So this is the ginger that I went on ahead and put in a container to sprout. So I could just go on ahead and put these outside, but because I don't know what the weather is going to do, and I know ginger is something that's a little bit more like warm, loving, I'm going to start them off in here. As soon as I start to see it sprout, then I'm going to pot it up and put it outside. But anyways, so I need to begin to separate these out. We are going to start with the poppies. Yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to get, or I don't know how long I'm going to be able to be here. But yeah, we just going to get done with as much as we can get done and keep it pushing. So I have my little tool here to scoop some things up. So I am separating out these Nigella flowers. Y'all, look at the root system on those. Like, I am super excited to see how these turn out. And these are a cut flower, which I wanted to produce more of in my garden this year. I mean, damn, like these pots may not be enough for these guys, but we gonna see. This is all the space that I'm willing to dedicate to this at the moment. But yeah, so hopefully by now you guys have began to like really start visualizing your garden. I feel like that's the phase that I'm in, especially now that I'm physically planting things out. I'm really excited to just see how everything comes together and if it's going to be what I imagine it to be. The next step of business will be to go on ahead and lay out all of my drip tape, because that is something that almost always struggle with, which is watering. And so last year I ended up putting the drip tape out there after we had like that crazy heat wave. So I'm wanting to get ahead of that. That way I make sure that the plants that really enjoy the water is getting a direct source from the drip tape, and then like everything else will, you know, kind of seep through and whatever. But I went on ahead, I up potted the flowers. I only ended up potting the 7 poppies that we had. I only did 5 daisies because daisies are like hella abundant, so they will spread really fast. They are perennial, and the poppies are as well. But then the Nigella, I went on ahead and did 8 of those because those will actually go into my raised beds with the rest of the cut flowers that I plan to plant out. So I am going to wrap this video up. I didn't get to chat like I thought that I was going to chat, but that's okay. I am going to be putting this guy outside. Maybe I can put another 2 rows of something in here. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But yeah, so I'm going to put these back outside. Tomorrow I will put the tomatoes outside. And yeah, we're gonna call this a day. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I wish you all health, wealth, and prosperity. And until the next time, peace.